Angleški časi.
Present simple.
To razlago, vaje in rešitve pridobite s knjigo. Povezava do knjige je pod tem videom. Raba. Kdaj uporabljamo ta čas? Za ponavljajoča dejanja in navade.
In English, habits or actions we do regularly. For example, Lucy often rides her horse. Or, I play tennis once a week.
Splošna dejstva in resnice.
In English, general truths or facts. For example, plants grow in soil. Or, London is the capital of England.
Ustaljeni dogovori, planirani dogodki.
When we talk about scheduled programs, timetables, and arranged future. For example, the train leaves at 8. The news program starts at 7.
Stalne situacije.
In English, permanent situations. For example, I live in Slovenia. Peter speaks German, Italian, and Russian.
Zgodbe.
When we give summaries of stories, films, books, present simple helps the listener to imagine the story, the film, the book more easily. It makes everything more real, more dramatic. For example, he clicks the Pay Now button and then realizes he has no money on the account.
Časopisni naslovi.
For example, recession ends. Rainfall rises to 130.
Navodila in velevniki.
We also use this tense to talk about instructions and imperatives. For example, cut the paper in half. Or talk more quietly.
Stativni glagoli.
With certain verbs that are usually in the simple and not continuous tenses. These verbs are stative verbs and they express emotions, mental states, senses, and possession. For emotions, we have verbs like love, hate, adore, dislike. For mental processes, we have understand, know, think, realize. And the verbs of perception are see, hear, taste, smell, feel. For example, I don't understand how this works. What does this word mean in Chinese? Tom loves his wife. I know the answer.
Oblika.
So, how do we form the present simple tense? She drinks coffee every morning. She drinks. S at the end. So with he, she, it, we have verb plus S. She drinks. And we drink coffee every morning. With we, you, they, we only have the verb, no S at the end. Another example. My brother works as a truck driver. My brother or he works. And they work at Google. They work. No S at the end.
Trdilne, nikalne in vprašalne povedi.
Positive, negative, and interrogative sentences. Let's start with the positive sentences. You play football. By the way, it's the same with I, they. So I, we, you, they. You play football. We negate. You do not play football. A shorter version would be you don't play football. And the question, do you play football? With he, she, it, it's a bit different. He plays football, so plays, S at the end. We negate, he does not play football. A shorter version, he doesn't play football. And the question is, does he play football? So with I, we, you, they, we have do in the negative sentences and interrogative sentences, while with he, she, it, we have does in the negative and interrogative sentences.
Prísloví.
We use this tense with different time expressions or adverbs to give you some, sometimes, usually, often, frequently, never, hardly ever, every Monday, every Tuesday. Usually, have I forgotten any? Okay, let me use my cheat sheet. Rarely, once a week, once a month, twice a year. I think that's pretty much it.
Vaje.
Now let's practice the formation of the present simple tense. Lucy, speak 3 languages. How would we form a sentence? Lucy, this is the same as she, so Lucy speaks 3 languages. They live in Berlin. And the sentence would be, they live in Berlin, because with they, we don't have any S at the end of the verb. They live in Berlin. Now let's try to negate the sentences. They meet 3 times a week. A negative sentence would be, they don't meet 3 times a week. He believes her story. The negative sentence would be, he doesn't believe his story. They work for Google. A negative sentence would be, they don't work for Google. Now let's try to form questions. She comes from Jamaica. Does she come from Jamaica? They wake up at 5. Do they wake up at 5? The concert starts at 8. Does the concert start at 8?
To razlago, vaje in rešitve pridobite s knjigo. Povezava do knjige je pod tem videom.